So, welcome to the session. We are, I think, on session number 10 of this book study that we have started. The existence of God is self-evident. So, let's continue. We had done up to sutra number 23, up to sutra number 23 the last time. Master was talking about spiritual transformers or spiritual energy transformers. Now he applies it to us, to the human system. So let's read. The human whirling energy centers or chakras are energy transformers. From the crown energy center to the basic energy center, spiritual energy is stepped down, modified, transformed, and physicalized. From the basic energy center, that is the basic chakra, to the crown energy center, that is the crown chakra, subtle energy is being stepped up, modified, transformed, and spiritualized. Wow. So we are, of course, familiar with all the chakras. Let's just see a slide just to sort of help us remind ourselves. These are our major chakras. And now we look at if we look at this, what Master is telling us is that the human body itself and the chakras themselves are also energy transformers. So he says from the crown, if you look in the diagram here, spiritual energy is being brought in. Now, this spiritual energy, we have talked about the various grades of matter, energy, and so on. So, this is very, very refined energy. It is being brought down. So, our master says, step down, from high, it's like a high voltage to low voltage. So, high degree of refinement to lesser degree of refinement. It is modified, transformed, and physicalized. Physicalized means it is brought down to the level of our physical body. And then Master says that from the basic chakra to the crown chakra. So first he said it is coming down from the crown down to the basic. Now he's saying from the basic to the crown. What does he say? Subtle energy is being stepped up. So low voltage to high voltage. Modified, transformed, and spiritualized. So physical energy is now being converted into spiritual energy. And how is this being done? It is being done by our system of chakras. And this is a topic that is discussed very well in the psychotherapy class. If you remember, the navel chakra is taking up energy and transforming it, transmuting it. The word the master uses in that course is transmutation. So many of our practices actually utilize this knowledge, that it is brought down, physicalized, stepped down, and then spiritualized or stepped up and spiritualized. So, for example, super brain yoga. You are aware of the practice. I hope you do it regularly. Super brain yoga. That is what we are doing. Now, the transmutation of sex energy, transmutation of basic energy that we learned in the psychotherapy class. When you heal, if you remember, there's a topic healing mental retardation in the psychotherapy class. That's what we are doing there. In the Lord's Prayer meditation, we are doing this. Also, very interesting, in the basic book, in the Ancient Science and Art or Miracles Through Pranic Healing, Master has given a very simple but very advanced meditation. It's called the meditation on white light. It's around page 180 in the basic Pranic Healing book. So my suggestion is it's a very simple meditation. Actually, let's do it at the end of the session instead of having master lead us into self-healing. Let's today use the meditation on white light to heal ourselves. Other things master has guided us. For example, he not said that before you sleep you wash your feet, because most of the dirty energy tends to be heavier. What are we seeing here? What have we read in the book? That it is stepped down. So as it is stepped down, it becomes grosser, it becomes heavier. It's mostly near the feet. So when you wash your feet, yeah, it have you done this ever, that you have done the meditation on twin hearts or any other meditation with your feet in water? And this is something that you can try. If you are healing somebody who has a severe illness, you can try this. Ask that person to do twin heart meditation with feet in a bowl of water. Maybe you can put a little salt. Maybe you can just chant Om into the water, or towards the water, and have the person do meditation. And at the same time, you do healing. And even in our culture, this knowledge is there. Like in our culture, to show respect, what do? We touch feet. When somebody blesses, he blesses on the crown. So all these, just trying to remind you that this knowledge is available. What Master has given in the book, we already sort of knew that, but now Master has made it very, very clear, and he has sort of put it in scientific terms. Yeah. Okay. Shall we move on? So, Sutra number 25. Now, this is something that we really need to understand very carefully, because the next sutra, which is like a blockbuster sutra, the key is here in this sutra. So, Master says the principle of pure energy with consciousness, coexisting and interpenetrating physical objects and non-physical objects, is pure energy with consciousness. This pure energy with consciousness is called nothingness, ain, shunya, or kung in different religions. And I would, take different religions to also mean different cultures. Now, here, Master is revealing one of the innermost secrets of nature. So, when he says coexisting, what does it mean? They exist together in the same space. Interpenetrate means it is inside and outside. Like we say for the aura is inside and outside the physical body. Or, like Master gives the example, put a sponge in water. Now the water is inside the sponge and outside the sponge. So he's saying that pure energy with consciousness is in the same space and interpenetrating objects, all objects, whether physical or non-physical. You see, when Master says objects here, what he means is something that is made up of matter or particles. Now, particles we have seen earlier, the seven planes of nature, that particles can be gross, I mean dense, or very, very subtle. So, for example, now when Master says physical particles, physical objects, well, we are talking about the dense objects, the visible objects, those we can see, we can touch, we can feel. With our senses, we are able to perceive. But there are also non-physical objects. For example, you may be aware of thought forms. You are, of course, aware of the aura. You are aware of the thought forms. You are aware of, emotions. So they are also real. They are also objects. They contain matter, but don't have matter from the physical plane. They have matter from the astral plane and or the mental plane. So they are not visible normally, but they are also objects, physical object, non-physical objects. So interpenetrating all of them is pure energy with consciousness. Now, what do we mean by pure energy with consciousness? This is a very, very important concept to understand. And the fact is, unfortunately, that this is little beyond our perception. It is not something that we can perceive. It will take a little mental effort, it will take a little imagination You see, because our usual understanding is limited to objects. So for example, physical objects, of course, our day to day life, we are dealing with physical objects. And when we do pranic healing, psychotherapy, etc., we are dealing with non physical objects like elementals, thought forms, and so on. But now here master is talking about pure energy. Now pure energy means there is no matter, there is no particle, there is no thing. You one of the words that master used is nothingness or shunya. I think the Sanskrit word shunya is very, very accurate. Shunya means a complete absence of any material, any matter. Yeah. And then what do we mean by so pure energy with consciousness? Pure energy meaning there is no matter involved, there is no particle, nothing. It is just pure. And with consciousness. Now, what do we mean by consciousness? Consciousness is the ability to be aware, the ability of, you know, taking cognizance, taking and being able to shape a response, something like that. When master says different religions, I think he means different cultures. This Ain, AIN, this is also written in sometimes as AYIN, sometimes also written as EIN. And it comes from the Kabbalah, which is a sect in the Jew culture or the Jew philosophy. Now, science also tells us the same thing. But of course, science does not, unfortunately, is not able to grasp consciousness. But still, this is what it says. It says that the building block of all matter is an atom. Yes, I'm sure you're aware of that. Now, the atom is mostly empty space. Now, what Master is now telling us is this empty space between the components of an atom is pure energy with consciousness. Yeah. This is an important concept to grasp. So I hope what I'm trying to do by way of help is actually helping and not coming in the way of your understanding this. I hope you have understood pure energy with consciousness. Yeah, a little feedback would be helpful. Pure energy with consciousness. Have you understood this? Are you kind of okay? One thumbs up is there. One yes is there. All beings. What do you mean by all beings? Which have life and yeah, so all beings will have life and consciousness. Beings means they have life. But even the grossest thing, like a mineral, a particle, a particle of sand also has consciousness. That is, if you when you did science in school, they talked about the properties of metals, for example. For example, some metal, it conducts electricity. Some other material, it does not conduct electricity. That you can see is like the consciousness of that matter, of that particular thing. उसकी जो प्रॉपर्टीज हैं, जो उसका बिहेवियर है, यू कैन से is because of the consciousness of that thing. So whether now we are not talking about beings here, we are talking about objects, which includes beings or their bodies at least. Yeah. So Pooja is saying, can you repeat a little? Half understood. All right, shall we? Let's just quickly say the thing to understand here is that when we talk about everything around us, जो हमारे संसार में जो कुछ भी है, it is pure, all objects, whether they are visible, invisible. And I hope that is clear. Visible objects, invisible objects. all objects have matter or particles which is interpenetrated by pure energy with consciousness. So pure energy, we saw that pure energy means it has no matter. वो मैटर के अंदर घुस गई है, वो मैटर के को इंटरपेनिट्रेट कर रही है, एंड दैट इज व्हाट इज creating the properties of that matter, of that object. Okay, let's maybe go on. Let's go to the next sutra. Maybe that will help you understand this sutra, and vice versa. If you have understood this sutra, the next one may become a little easier. The next one I had said is a real blockbuster sutra. So please pay attention. From the absolute supreme God comes pure energy with consciousness and pure matter. Pure energy with consciousness is called light or the Spirit of God in Genesis. Genesis is a holy book of the Christians. Pure matter is called darkness in Genesis. The combination of these two results in creation. So now Master is revealing the secret of creation. And stunningly simple, he has made it stunningly simple. कितना उसको सरल तरीके से समझा दिया कि फ्रॉम द सुप्रीम गॉड, जिसको हम ब्रह्मन या ब्रह्मा क्या बोलते हैं, नॉट ब्रह्मा बट ब्रह्मन या पर ब्रह्मन, है ना, या जो सुप्रीम गॉड. Or so Master has said, absolute supreme God. That means nothing before that, nothing higher than that, nothing more, pure than that. Comes pure energy with consciousness and pure matter. So this supreme God has two things in it, or in it. I guess I'll say in it. There is pure energy, no matter. Pure matter, no energy. Now, so these are in different cultures, they are known with different names. So Master says in the Christian tradition, they are known as light or Spirit of God, and darkness in the Christian system. Then later he says in India, the word Purusha means consciousness, or it actually means pure energy with consciousness. Mula Prakriti literally means root matter. Root matter meaning again pure matter, no consciousness. Root matter means pure matter. So when these two combine, it might be helpful if we call pure energy with consciousness as God the Father, and pure matter with no consciousness we call God the Mother. When the two combine, creation happens. Now then Master explains what is creation. What we call energy is not pure energy. What we call matter is not pure matter. What we call energy and matter is actually composed of pure energy with consciousness and pure matter. So this manifest universe, जो हमारा विश्व है, जो the world that we live in, we don't see pure energy anywhere. We don't see pure matter anywhere. In fact, pure matter is only, the nearest you can come to perceiving pure matter is, have you heard of a black hole? Dark hole, black hole, what is it called? Black hole. So a black hole is the nearest one can think of as pure matter. Otherwise, pure matter we are not able to perceive it in this world. But what we are seeing is come from the combination of pure matter and pure energy. Everything, you are seeing me, you are seeing, you are hearing my sounds, you are breathing air, there is oxygen, there is this, there is that. Everything in this universe is nothing but matter and energy in different combinations. The ratios are different. So something gross, you see something gross, like this table that this computer is placed on. It's wood. Now that is the matter is higher in ratio and the pure energy with consciousness is less. तो इसकी चेतना बहुत कम है. The consciousness is available is less. But when you are, say for example, light, or for example, my thoughts or your thoughts, their matter is less and it is very, it's the particles are small. Lot of pure energy is there. When you look at your different bodies, your physical body, your gross physical body, more dense matter, less energy. So the physical body, you are aware, has much less consciousness. The pranamay kosh, the etheric double, that has now as comparatively in ratio, that is less matter, more energy. When you go to the astral body, even more so, still less matter, more energy with consciousness, and so on and so forth. So essentially, all of creation is just a play of these two basic elements. What are those two basic elements? Pure matter, no consciousness, pure energy with consciousness. The two coming together in different ratios. And how many different ratios? Almost infinite, I would say. And both these basic elements, Purusha and Mula Prakriti, they come from Parabrahman, Supreme, Absolute Supreme God. The Absolute Supreme God is also known as the causeless cause. He's the cause of everything. He has no cause. He is known as the Supreme Creator or the one true origin or the one true source because everything comes from him. So it's like he has two toys. There is pure energy with consciousness, there is pure matter. And he says, okay, come together and give me some. I want to see the tamasha. And then you have this entire universe. So, pure energy with consciousness, this is where the previous sutra, if you have understood, that will help you. No matter, no thingness, it is shunya, or the better word is purusha, because it has consciousness. Now, we have no direct experience of it, except maybe in very high meditations, you may feel, your physical body dissolving, you are a being of light, and so on. That is the nearest one will come to it. Pure matter, Mula Prakriti, no consciousness, no energy, in fact, no space. There is no movement, there is nothing. Again, it is something we cannot really experience or perceive. We can only imagine. And like I told you, a black hole is the nearest we can come. Beyond that, you have to imagine. Now, if supposing think of a perfect black hole. You see, if you remember some time back, we had talked about it, how creation has happened. You remember this slide? We have seen this slide earlier. ये हमने बात की थी जब वो there was that sutra on in the beginning was the word and the word was with God and the word was God. Yeah. So we had talked about Om being the sound of creation, and this is pure matter, virgin matter meaning pure matter. No, there is still no impregnation by God the Father. And then the Logos has appeared, and then the vibration. And we had said that this is what the dance of Nataraj is supposed to symbolize. Yes, you remember this? And from that, the seven planes had come up. Essentially, now if you look at the seven planes, they are just different combinations of matter and energy, pure energy with consciousness. And as you go up, the ratio of matter reduces, the ratio of pure energy with consciousness increases. As you go down, the ratio of matter increases, the density of matter increases, and the ratio, the part of pure energy with consciousness reduces. So I always like to think of it as God the Father, God the Mother. And why that is also helpful is because in the Indian culture, we talk about, the father figure and the mother figure. We talk about Shiva, then we also talk about Parvati. We talk about Vishnu, we also talk about Lakshmi ji. So this I think this approach of looking at them as God the Father, God the Mother, is useful. You see, our spiritual aspiration to is to develop as God the Father. But since we are incarnated, when we are in this lifetime, God the Mother is very, very important, because that is the aspect of sustenance, nourishment, and our feeding, the physical feeding, the emotional feeding, the mental, all those feeding. And Master Choa has again given us some very good advice. He says in the morning, your day is beginning, you have to, God the Mother becomes more important for the rest of the day. So he has suggested you do Gayatri Mantra, you do the Lakshmi Gayatri Mantra in the morning. In the evening, as nighttime approaches, your soul is ready to go into the higher planes. Yes, when you sleep, you remember? Oh, okay. It's a different book study. We have talked about the soul going into the astral body. In the evening, you are now ready to let the soul be released from the physical world for sleep. So there, Master has suggested chant Om Namah Shivaya Om. Yeah. Another way, by the way, of understanding God the Father, God the Mother, or Moola Prakriti and Purusha is Yang and Yin. They are not exactly the same, but you can, find some parallels. It is, if you have understood Yang and Yin, then that will help you understand Moola Prakriti and Purusha. Now, what is the summary of this, or what is one takeaway, very important takeaway, which will guide us in our lives? God is in everything. Notice, or just think about it. God is in everything. Everything is in God. Everything is in nothingness. Shunya. Within Shunya is everything. And that leads us to this, this theory that the entire world is actually an illusion. Think about it. I hope I'm not making life too complicated for you.